So I get a lot of questions about from non-Jews who want to convert about what should I do. I want to convert to Judaism. What's my first step? And usually I right away ask, okay, of course you can convert, but what is the reason why you want to convert? And very often the answer I get are not the right answers, meaning that, for example, one should not convert just because they feel it's a nice religion. Things are beautiful, and I like the Shabbos, and I like to eat kosher. I have no problem with that. That's not a good reason. A lot of people want to belong somewhere. We all want to belong to a group, to a family, to something spiritual, and that's fine. But we don't join a religion or a certain type of belief just because it feels good or it sounds beautiful. Because a lot of non-beautiful things everywhere, and when one goes into a religion, and specifically now Judaism, there's a lot of responsibilities that come with it. So what is the real reason why one should want to convert? The real reason why one should want to convert is that one has discovered that research and discovered that the Torah is truly from God, that the Torah, the Old Testament, is true, and therefore that's the first step. And the second step is not only it's true, but I want to join the Jewish people in their mission. I feel I have a deeper connection inside of me, inside of my soul. I feel there's something Jewish about me. I relate to the mission of the Jewish people, and I want to be part of it. And I'm ready to take the full responsibility of being a Jew and being a light into the nation. And that's why we, as Jews, we don't just encourage it like that. It's a huge decision. But there's no such thing as blind faith. So you have to really look into yourself and reflect about why you should want to be Jewish, especially speaking about the fact that you can be connected to the Jewish people as a Noachide or as a Ben Adam, whatever terms are used today, Ger Toshav. You can be connected to Judaism and the Jews in a very intimate way even. But you don't have to do the 613 commandments. There are two paths. There's the non-Jewish path and the Jewish path, and they are both good. And both have their own mission. Both can be very spiritual, both can be very close to God, and actually they're supposed to work together. But, and therefore one can even do certain mitzvot from the Torah when a non-Jew is not forbidden to do certain of the mitzvot, some of the commandments, and therefore if one connects to a commandment doesn't mean that he has to be Jewish for that. He can learn the lesson from that command and do it, and but he needs to ask a rabbi how to do it and what's the proper way as a non-Jew to approach it, and therefore you can work hand in hand with the Jewish people and still be yourself as a non-Jew. In Kabbalah there are many Mikubalim, like big Kabbalists, that say that a Jewish soul is always going to be Jewish, and a non-Jewish soul is also going to be non-Jewish. Now, sometimes it happens that a Jewish soul goes in a non-Jewish body, or a non-Jewish soul goes in a Jewish body, and that's why some people leave and some people come back to Judaism. Usually, people who end up converted to Judaism and really want it, they feel they're Jewish. They always felt it, they always felt a connection. And that usually means that they had always a Jewish soul, and therefore they're just coming back. So really, real convert to Judaism usually only are just here to do their mission, which is their Jewish mission. They're just coming back, and they just have to go through the process of conversion to reaffirm their mission, reconnect to it. So before you want to be Jewish, you got to connect to see really if that's what you want. But more important than that, you got to research, make sure that Judaism is true. If God really gave the Old Testament, gave the Torah and the Ten Commandments, then it must be that God let signs of for us to be able to find whether it's true or not. In Judaism, we don't believe in blind faith. You have to be convinced that this is the truth. Otherwise, you can live your whole life, you can do any religion because you like it and it's spiritual, it's nice. There's a lot of nice religion out there. But it might not be true. Or it might be a nice spiritual way, but still not be what God wants, or still not be connected to the true story of creation. Anyway, we all have to do a research. The same way you do a research paper in college about is it true that native Indians lived in America? Is it true that the Torah, the text, is actually from God? And research, and then explore all religion, explore, see what is true, what makes sense or not, debate, and when you find the truth, then you know that if you're able to convince yourself of the truth, of the veracity of the Torah, of the Old Testament, and then that's the right time to say, okay, I want to be part of that. I want to take the responsibility. I also put 26 steps to become an Orthodox Jew. That's for those who on YouTube. That's for those who wants to learn how to do step by step the main things that you need. And so I encourage you to, and most important, ask as many questions as you want. Even if you want to ask for proof, we have proof, and we can share. I can share that with you also. So I have videos about it too. So keep searching, find your path, and whatever path it is, may God be with you and help you see the truth.